Welcome back to Eliances Heroes, where heroes in business align. To be part of our super community and find out more about Eliances, visit www.Eliances.com. Now, back to our super host, David Cogan, founder of Eliances.
I know you're thinking, how does it get any better listening to me unlock secrets, especially when we start off the show this morning with George Foreman. Then we had on the president of HomeSmart International. And I just interviewed the CEO of Consumer Cellular, a billion-dollar company, and he was also the co-founder of. Well, let me tell you, it does get better and better and better because we have the author, speaker, inspirational leader, the one and only Jack Canfield. He's a Guinness Book World Record holder for having 7 books. That's 7 on the New York Times bestseller list at the same time. And we're going to learn about his latest book, The Big Bad Bully. Jack, tell us a little bit about this book, The Big Bad Bully, and what really kind of was the inspiration to write it.
Well, The Big Bad Bully is a book about a girl who has a bully that's been bullying her ever since elementary school, and tells her pigtails are for babies, her freckles are too many, her hair is all frizzy, nobody wears pigtails anymore, all that kind of stuff. And one day she finally decides that she's going to confront this bully, and she gets all excited to do it. She gets to school, she goes into the girls' room where this bully has mainly been bothering her, and she looks in the mirror and she realizes the bully is her. And basically it's a story about coming to grips with the fact that we all have an inner bully, we all have an inner critic that basically puts us down. And we know now from the statistics that young girls especially, and boys too, have very low self-esteem. 44% of girls in high school are trying to lose weight. 70% of the girls that are 15 to 17 years old avoid going to school sometimes because they look in the mirror and they don't like the way their face looks, or they have pimples or whatever. And they have low self-esteem. We find that 75% of those are cutting themselves, drinking, smoking, have eating disorders, or engaging in illicit sex and so forth. So this low self-esteem that comes from this very virulent self-judgment that occurs is what's killing our youth today. You add to that the cell phones that everyone's looking at, comparing themselves to the doctored photos that are on the, everyone's putting their best photos on YouTube and Pinterest and Instagram and so forth. And so it's a very, very difficult time for kids. And we basically wrote a book to help them confront the idea that it's their own inner judgments that's what's killing them, not the outer judgments. And then we put it in the book at the end, some exercises people can do, either with your kids if you're a parent, or if you're a child reading it, things you can do to help build your self-esteem and tell that bully to basically replace the bullying with inner coaching and inner support as opposed to inner criticism.
And again, you can get his book, The Big Bad Bully, on Amazon. So just go to Amazon, do a search on The Big Bad Bully, because again, we're talking with Jack Canfield. Jack, you've created so many bestsellers. We're talking Chicken Soup for the Soul, Chicken Soup for the Preteen Soul, Chicken Soup for the Girl's Soul, and on and on. Where do these ideas come from? Where do the ideas come from? Like, for example, again, the latest one, The Big Bad Bully. Where are you when these are coming to you?
Well, often they'll come to me. Well, let's start with Chicken Soup, and then I'll go to The Big Bad Bully. Chicken Soup for the Soul, I was telling stories that I had gathered for years to both teachers that I was training in schools and also in the general public that I knew would inspire people, would make them feel more love toward themselves, toward each other, make them want to overcome the challenges in their life. And I would just basically pepper those in my talks and in my seminars. And one day someone started saying, is that story about the puppy in a book? Is that story about the Girl Scout who sold 3,000 boxes of Girl Scout cookies in a book? And I'd always have to say no. And then one day I'm coming home on the plane. I think it's like that I should have had a V8 commercial way back when. And I thought, oh my God, all these people are telling me to put these stories in a book. I guess I should do it. And I made a list of all the stories I knew that I'd been using. And there were 69 stories. And I thought, wow, that's enough for a book. And then at the end of that first book, I put, if you have a story, send it in. Maybe we'll do a sequel. And that's 220 books later. And people started sending in stories. Sometimes we're getting 50 stories a day. And then people would come to me and say, you should do one for kids. You should do one for teachers. So that just kind of grew. The other thing is with The Big Bad Bully, my co-author, Miriam Laundrie, she has 2 daughters. and a son. And one day she watched her daughter in the mirror just judging herself, saying she was standing there and didn't know her mom was looking. She said, "Your legs are too skinny. Your legs are too short. Your hair is too frizzy. You've got pimples all over your face. You have too many freckles." She said, "Oh my God, my daughter's judging herself." And we began to realize, there's a lot of bullying going on in school, but the major bullying is actually going on inside our own heads. And so we thought, well, maybe we should do a book about that.
And you state by the time students, especially girls, reach the 5th grade, listeners, the 5th grade, less than 33% still have high self-esteem. How is that
That's right.
possible?
Well, I often say in my seminars, look to your right, look to your left, one of you is okay. Because 33% of people across the board in America have high self-esteem, and the rest have low self-esteem or challenged self-esteem. By the 5th grade, most kids have decided if they're smart or stupid, if they're attractive or not, if they're athletic or not, if they're musical or not. And so, unfortunately, that often stays with them for the rest of their life. I spend the majority of my time in my workshops that I do working with people to overcome the limiting decisions they made when they were children. Sometime between the ages of 3 and 8, most people have decided something negative about themselves. I'm not worthy. I can't ask for what I want. I never get what I want. Money's bad. It's not okay to ask people for things, etc. And so we're all living with these kind of limiting beliefs that are even unconscious. And so I think it also happens because we watch television. The kids on Nickelodeon and Disney are all pretty attractive and dynamic, and most of the kids compare themselves with that. We look at Teen Magazine and things like that, and we know that models are, not facelifted, but photoshopped. And so the kids they're just confronted with a lot of things to compare themselves with. And unfortunately, one of our big inner processes we all do is compare ourselves. And I'll ask audiences, I'll say, how many of you have ever compared yourself to someone? Everyone puts their hand up. I say, how many of you have ever come out better than the other people? And most of the hands go down, because we usually pick people that are better than us to compare ourselves to.
And you're listening to me, David Cogan, and you know what? Compare yourself to me, the Eliances Heroes Show radio host. That's right. You're welcome to go ahead and do that, and come on down to the Eliances Show again, because I've got the honor of interviewing Jack Canfield, the author, Chicken Soup for the Soul, speaker, inspirational leader, and his new book, The Big Bad Bully, which you could reach on Amazon. And if you want to reach Jack Canfield, go to Canfield.com. And of course, we'll have that link on our website at Eliances.com. That's ELIANCES.com, the only place where entrepreneurs align. Jack, what is the most worthy advice, though, that you could possibly share with all of these books you've written, all this incredible super knowledge that you have? 2 parts to that question. Most worthy advice you could possibly share for parents, and the next one is for children.
Well, I would say for parents, you need to be constantly affirming your children, not giving them, trophies for participation, all that kind of stuff, but literally acknowledging what their strengths are, their inner strength, not just their beauty, their outer beauty, but also their inner beauty. And one of the things I teach parents to do, put 2 pictures of your kids in the bedroom, one of them doing something they do well, maybe it's playing baseball, volleyball, playing the guitar, whatever it might be, and then another picture of them with the family, everyone looking happy, because self-esteem is made up of feeling lovable and capable. And so if you feel like you belong and people care about you, and you feel like you have some skills and competencies that you can do, that's really important. I also teach parents to teach their kids something called the mirror exercise, where the kids, and adults can do this too, every night before you go to bed, you look in the mirror and you say 3 things to yourself. You say, I want to acknowledge you for the things you've accomplished. And you mention those. You got an A in spelling, you made the football team, or you at least got to school on time, whatever. Things disciplines you kept, like, you did your homework or you read the Bible, whatever that might be. And then also any temptations you overcame, like you didn't stay up playing Words with Friends until 3 in the morning. And then you end with saying, I love you. Because mostly kids are saying negative things to themselves, as adults are. And if you do that over and over and over, you're starting to replace the negative with the positive as you look in your own eyes in the mirror. And I think the other thing that we all can do is just acknowledge that we are enough just the way we are. We all think we're not enough. In my experience in working with literally over 1 million people in seminars in 117 countries around the world, is that we all have some unique gift or talent that if we bring it forward, it's a contribution to our community, whether it's our friends, the community at large. And so the idea is just be yourself. You know, if you're someone who's funny, let yourself be funny. If you're someone who likes certain kind of music, you know, go with that music. If you want to paint, paint. If you want to be a scientist, be a scientist. Most people are trying to grow up and be something that the society put on them. I had an Indian kid the other day tell me, in my family, there's only 3 things you can grow up to be: a doctor, a lawyer, or a disappointment. And so the reality is that there's many other things you can grow up to be because you want to follow your heart, follow your bliss, as they say.
Jack, I love it. What if they want to grow up and be a celebrity radio host?
Then they're going to have to compete with you. I don't know. It's going to be difficult.
I love it. Well, Jack, you inspire and lead. You help children and adults alike learn to deal with the bully inside of them and look toward creating success in their lives. That's a hero, Jack Canfield, author of The Bully Inside. Make sure you go and buy his book on Amazon, and to reach him direct, JackCanfield.com. This has been David Cogan with Eliances.
You have been listening to Eliances Heroes, where heroes in business align. Eliances is the destination for entrepreneurs, investors, CEOs, inventors, leaders, celebrities, and startups. To present your superpower, visit www.Eliances.com.